These weapons are very loud, eh?
Here, throw these grenades at them.
Okay. Ha! Got him right in the face. Still got it, you know.
Next time, pull the pin out.
Oh, right. Okay.
Get down!
Why is everything here so loud? I think we should keep our heads down for a while until they're all finished. Tell you what, I'll conclude with this tale of the noobs at last.
Right, welcome back. Just to set the scene, we're early morning. Well, it's not. I think it's afternoon-ish on Saturday.
Okay.
Big boss man just died.
Killed by the battalion.
By the battalion. Or was he?
Oh.
I know, we'll get to that. So, we're like... Get downstairs and go and finish off the survivors of the battalion.
Right.
Oh man, if you thought Confusion was bad at Empire, Confusion at Blind Dogs...
In the dark.
Nobody has a fucking clue what's going on, ever. Like,
Right.
well, especially in these... someone shooting moments, right?
Right.
You just don't know. Even a long corridor, you don't know what's at the other end of it unless you're shining light at it. And sometimes in this sort of environment, you don't particularly want to be
shine a light
known
right?
or seen, right? So we go down one floor to level 2. There's a group of us. It's a big group this time. I think there must be 20 people in this group. And we start going through with one of the Ratniks. And this guy was fucking cool, right?
Right, okay.
He starts basically teaching QCB, right? Basically clearing rooms, clearing buildings, how to do things.
Okay.
They used a Russian word for friend or whatever.
Okay.
Because it was like, if we use, what's it called? Like, Long Bridge or whatever, like, they could start using that against us. So we'll start using this Russian word instead. It was a cool idea, right?
Yeah, really nice.
So... this guy's like helping us clear, and he's a really fucking helpful, cool dude, right? Like he's clearly like trying to help everyone out. And there's a lot of LARPers that aren't airsofters there,
Right. Okay.
right? So that kind of it was a nice little moment.
Sure.
No one's on the floor. We clear the whole entire floor. No one's on there. So we're gonna go down to level 3. Sorry, no, level 2 because we're okay. So
you're on level.
We're on level 4
on
as
level 4.
the bar.
Okay.
We went down to level 3, which is one level lower, and we went down to level 2, which is the dark
I'm
level.
with you.
And for some reason, I was like, level 2 is much scarier than level 3, right?
There's more distance between you and home.
Yeah, it's just a lot more. Go down there, and we have this motherfucker of a shootout, right? It's just, there's shots in the dark, people yelling. It's like...
How did it kick off?
I can't remember.
Did
We
this
all
happen?
piled down there. I was quite near the back when we first went in. But then everyone kind of took a pathway and little groups went off on their own little pathway into this maze of darkness, right? So there was a lot of like confusion about who was friend and who wasn't.
Okay.
And basically I had a shield, so I kind of led the front, so I had my pistol over the top with my shield.
Oh, so badass.
With my light over the top.
You've got your axe as well, or have you...
My axe is in my left hand with my shield.
Okay, nice.
And
okay.
I'm like just moving through, like clearing stuff. And it's like, it's really... for this battle, I kept on turning my light on. People telling me to turn it off. Also, getting in people's eyes. Like that was something like if you shine it upwards. Upwards is good when you're offensive because you're gonna put it in the other person's eyes. When you're talking to friends, light up is bad. So I tilted it all the way down so it's pointing at the floor.
Okay.
And there's a lot of light adjustment throughout this. The really good guys that were good at this were having their light on their weapon, and a lot of them had long rifles or shotguns. So they would put their light on as they turned the corner,
right,
and just gun the person that was behind the thing. Whereas me, I had to like light and then turn my head around the corner, and then you know what I mean. Like I'm getting a bit more of a...
Sure, you've got a disadvantage.
But I'm feeling like pretty armor clad at this stage, you know.
The shield, is that like if a bullet hits it? It's
okay,
cool?
so the shield actually looks like a sewer drain, right? Yeah. But the way that works is if you get hit in a shield, you're supposed to RP it. Because obviously I'm holding a shield and it's getting shot and it's like that. It's gonna
come back at you.
So that was the kind of idea behind it.
Nice.
It was really good fun clearing stuff. I wasn't very effective. Like there were a few bits I kind of got pinned down in a section. I couldn't. You know how it works tactically, where if you're pinned down from one location, it's very hard to move through the area without having someone else come from the side and just clear that out. So we kind of got stuck a little bit. There were a few people. There was lots of us, and it felt like but just because of the brutal nature of it, it was very hard to kind of move out, you know.
Yeah.
I think I got shot again at this point.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I started the day with, I'm just not getting shot today. You know what I mean? Like, and then I got shot virtually immediately in the same leg.
Right, okay, yeah.
So off to the fucking medics I go again. They also have a bit where there was like, there was some dudes like, there was sandbags and some sort of heavy weapon that was keeping everyone pinned down.
Wow,
that was pretty cool. It was a little further away from me so I couldn't quite see it, but it sounded...
Awesome.
Oh, fuck. Also, people are throwing grenades.
Okay, how do they work?
Which are like, they're bangers, basically, but really fucking loud bangers. They literally made me wobble because I'm like terrible at jump scares. They're like, boom, and then like, boom, and like these are going off all over the place.
What's the gunfighting like, actually, in sound-wise? Like, is it just like a duck, duck, or does it sound like a...
Like a...
Okay, so you can hear it, for sure.
Oh, yeah, but the rooms are so big...
Right.
Like, there are certain points in this where you're yelling out to someone who's on the same level as you and they wouldn't be able to hear you if you...
Wow, okay.
Like, the sound gets knocked out pretty quick.
Okay.
So, there was times when we were... And there were scary bits where I was yelling and no one would answer. You know what I mean? And you're like, I'm sure there were people there. So, oh, yeah, we'll get into that, actually, right now. So again, I get myself patched up. I feel like I visited, I haven't, in my notes, I haven't got all the times I went to the hospital, but it was a bunch of fucking times.
Yeah.
I think I got shot twice in the leg. I got a knife wound to my arm.
Oh, we'll get to them when you get to them.
No, I can't remember when the knife wound might have been on Friday night, because there was some melee in the evening as well.
Okay, right.
Right. I really love the melee.
Right.
Right, you have a nice glass of whatever, then you head off for a good old melee fight. Shit's awesome.
That's nice.
Right? Like, we always, like, Empire's the same. Like,
so is that just purely a melee kind of fight at that point then?
After 10 o'clock, yeah.
Yeah, but that's cool that melee fighting can still go on.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was really, really good. It was also a lot more freeing knowing you wouldn't get shot as well.
Yeah,
like, there was a...
the tension isn't there, the natural tension from getting shot.
Like, one thing I would say is I felt like 10 o'clock was too late.
Right.
I'd say you don't need, like, 12 hours of...
Yeah, actually, I think it probably brings a little bit of a change, right? The threat of melee still being a possibility.
Yeah, and it was a lot more...
flips it around a bit.
lot more, like, the fights were a lot faster. Well, not faster is the wrong word, but a lot more kind of fun.
Yeah.
Like, not fun's the wrong word, like, because it's scary with the guns, which is RP, right? That doesn't necessarily mean it's not fun, but, you know.
I think
also,
like more bravado will come out naturally when it's just melee weapons,
yeah,
right?
but there was also, bear in mind, not all kit is equal. It's the same Empire problem, right? The guys in heavy armor... You know, but this was turned up, right?
Yeah.
There were some guys that barely reacted to gunfire, and there were some people that hadn't got any armor at all. Right. Right. So it's a lot more limiting to that player who hasn't got the armor than the guy who does necessarily. But then, there's a lot of nuance there. I don't want to say that I know the best way to deal with that.
So you're down, sort of stuck on your own.
No. So we.
You've been patched up, that's it.
Yeah, go up, and then there's another kind of like, just kind of, you know, people are hanging out and there's stuff going on. And then Monty is like, a Monty, right? He's there with his bowler hat on. He's like, throughout the weekend he's been like kind of scheming about a few things. He says to me, okay, there are power cells in the other floors, and if we get them, you know, I can do a few things, a few bits and pieces, and we can make some money out of this, right? So I'm like... All right, Monty. And Monty, by the way, keeps disappearing, right? And like RP, like I see, Monty's our cash cow, right? We want to keep him alive, but Monty keeps disappearing because Monty has virtually no regard for his
own personal safety. Yeah.
Absolutely, he's that character, and it was weird to see that character actually survive.
Right. Okay.
Do you know what I mean? You're watching it, going, no, I know they do this in the movies, but that character should be dead in reality.
Right.
Not fucking Monty. Monty's fucking indestructible. Everything would be kicking off and going crazy, and then I'd be like, "Where's Monty?" Like the catchphrase was in our group, like, "Where's Monty?" Do you know what I mean? Like, and trying to find like where he was and what. And he would just walk out of hell, like, covered in blood. You know what I mean? Like, oh, none of it's mine. Yeah, no, it got really heavy in there, but no, I made us profit. You know what I mean? Like,
came away a winner. Who would have guessed?
Monty came back with so many batteries.
Right.
Bear in mind, I barely got... I think I earned one battery through doing something, whatever. It's like, whatever. Like, I'll post it to the Facebook group, but we made back over that weekend, man. And bear in mind, none of it was from me. I facilitated, but it was all Monty and Callum and Panda making the game and stuff. So he's like, and that's when we started hearing rumours of a monster.
A what?
A monster.
Okay.
A creature. A creature,
right.
as you that is, and you know, it's one of those. Yeah, people are talking. I'm talking about elites in spacecraft,
right,
working with aliens, and they're the ones that like. There's a lot of crazy shit, right? It's the apocalypse. There's a lot of mentally ill people with certain belief structures all over the fucking place. And when someone starts talking to you about a monster, you're like, all right, whatever. You know, I think we heard about it on the Friday, and then the sick people showed up, and we're like, these people aren't monsters. They're just sick people, right?
Yeah.
Ah, well. Then we started hearing word about monster. Okay, so we do one level with just there's me, another guy, and Monty.
Right.
And I'm leading them, shield up, like, hurry the fuck up, Monty. You know what I mean? Like, is it here? No, let's move the fuck on. And I'm trying to hurry them on through this kind of like little, and I'm leading with a shield, right?
Nice.
And we do the whole of the second floor.
Right.
And nothing's there.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
And then we're going down to the third floor, the one below us, and then the one below that, floor 2. We're going down there, the lowest level.
And that's where there was a firefight before.
Yeah. And then, so we go down there, and the Ratniks are going down there, and they're all piling down, and we're like, I'm going to Monty, we can just use them to cover us going through it. We grab the fucking power cell, and we're gone profit. You know what I mean? And one of our catchphrases was, right place, right time.
I love it.
Okay, and that's what we said all the time because we kept on being like with the key.
Yeah.
Right place, right time. Do you know what I mean? Like to make profit. Adventure capitalism, Ian. Adventure capitalism. You know, like we kept on it kept on working out that way, and it was just great fun. So the Ratniks go off there, and they're like, "Be careful, there is monster," and we're like, what sort of fucking monster, you know? And they're like,
and because they're saying it has weight, right? Like it's
they don't look too happy. They look pretty like for a bunch of indestructible Russians. They look pretty fucking nervous about the whole event, right?
Right.
So they're going, it is bulletproof.
Okay.
It cannot die, you know, like by bullets. And we're like, all right. And he says, but it is scared of light. Okay, and I'm like, fuck. And Monty's like, well, we've got lights, let's head in. And I'm like, oh no, Monty. So
what have you got ourselves into?
So the Russians go right and we go left into the labyrinth of rooms, okay? So I'm like walking around and I am like definitely shitting my pants at that stage, okay? Like it's...
You got what you asked for.
I got it, Ian. Like walking around, clearing the rooms, clearing the corners. You know what I mean? I'm like... You know, like, just moving as, like, my arms are one, and I'm basically just searching every aspect. I'm, like, trying to keep the guys together. There's only
covering the zones, that kind of stuff.
Monty's got a wind-up light.
What?
So he's going... like, shining this light around. And it's just so good, right? The comedy of it. Like, and Monty's just like, no, it's not here. I'm like, shh, let's keep going. So we keep going around. And then we go all the way around to the other side. Oh, no. Okay, so we head up to this area, okay? And it opens up a little bit, and there's pillars around me, and I'm in front. I'm flashing my light around. And then I see this thing move from pillar to pillar.
What?
And it was like, it was a flash of like an image in the darkness and the gloom of my flashlight, right?
Right.
And the way I'm even describing it now is exactly how it was. You know how crazy motherfuckers that say they saw Bigfoot describe it?
Yeah.
That's how I sounded describing what I saw as the monster.
Okay.
It was small and green, and I've never seen an animal move like that. You know what I mean? There was that sort of vibe, right? And I am instantly just like absolute, like, pants are full. I'm out. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is... I didn't believe there was a monster. There is now a real monster.
And it's bulletproof.
Gentlemen, we're leaving. Do you know what I mean? Like,
is that what you said? Or?
No, something like that.
Yeah,
something to the effect of. But Monty's like, but we haven't searched everywhere. So everywhere scampered away when we shone a light on it, and I'm just like, the fuck are you talking about? There's adventure capitalism, and then there's fucking monsters in the dark. Do you know what I mean? Like, I ain't fucking with that. So I'm trying to guide us back, and like Monty's checking everywhere.
What's
like,
Panda doing?
he's upstairs somewhere.
He's upstairs. Okay,
I think
right. So it's just the two of you.
I think we only had one gun at that stage between the two of us. We had gun issues. There were gun issues.
Okay, cool.
I think it's because I dropped Panda's gun. I broke his gun.
Oh, shit.
Bad. Yeah. It was. Yeah. Callum was really cool about it. He was really cool. That's all I want to say on it. Like, he's a good man.
Callum's a great guy.
It was completely on accident. By accident? God, I've been hanging around with Americans too much.
Yeah.
So, yeah, anyway. So we had one gun, so we kept on taking it in turns with the guns, basically.
Sure.
And then, so we get near the exit, and actually to the exit, and I'm bussing for a piss, right? Like, OC, need to go to loo. I'm just like, dude, I gotta pee, and he's like, I'm going back in, and he's there going, woo, like winding his little light up and heading back into the dark. Oh, I forgot to mention, I heard Russians screaming at different points when we're in there. It's a bad show, and Monty was like, I'm going back in, you know what I mean? Like, with this other guy, just bonkers, man. It's so funny. I go pee, and then eventually, I come back, and then Monty comes back again. I'm like, Monty, you're alive, and he's like, of course I am. Like, was never in doubt, and I think he found a power cell.
Brilliant.
Yeah. So, Monty shines fantastically in the fucking thing. Right, so... Oh, shit. Okay, so then the People's Welfare Committee show up.
Okay, and they're like the communist guys, right?
They're the communists.
Okay.
And people have been like, there's this... Because NPCs are feeding bits of information. They're sitting down and we're going, oh, you heard about this and blah, blah, blah. And they're feeding information and fake news into the group.
Okay.
So it almost becomes one of those like weird mind experiments about what's real and what isn't. So
sure,
they're telling us, oh, you know what happens when the welfare committee shows up? People disappear.
Okay.
And, like senior people in whichever haven it is.
Okay.
And they come in first and be like, here's some stuff, we want nothing from you, here's free things. And then people start disappearing, and then they go, during this political crisis, because people are disappearing, we're going to take control.
Right. Okay. So that's how it's rumored to be how they do it.
That's how it's rumored to be that the first, not the first battalion. What am I talking about? The welfare committee take over in different areas. Okay. So they come in and they're like, it's a man and a woman, and the woman's like, every time she gets asked a hard question, she just laughs. Like what a ridiculous question type thing. And I'm like, this does not feel right at all, right? Like, but bear in mind, I did hear about people disappearing before I met them, so that does kind of, who knows, right? Like, there's a,
could just be fake news.
Could be. So they'd shown up, I think, the day before and started doing stuff, and then at that point we had a town meeting. Okay.
Is this an organised thing, or
it was an org that was running the actual meeting. So, and they kind of like introduced the main groups that should have been represented. So, here's a representative of the boss man guy, the barman. Yeah. He was a member of the town council. Okay. Another is the church. Another is, well, I don't know, the Ratnicks were invited to talk, but I don't know whether they were actually a council member or not. Okay. I didn't really understand that, but they were invited to talk. And there was an open council seat. I don't know when the council, vote happened, but they were going, it might have been at this point, at this meeting, but they had like who wants to stand to be a member of the council? And then one person stood.
Right, okay, wow.
Okay, and you always know an election with one candidate is probably pretty dodgy, right? So, but there's no one else to stand. I don't want to fucking stand, right? Like, that's not where my character's at right now. I'm here to make profit and be in the right place at the right time, right? But one candidate, and they stood and they got voted in, right? So that's...
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, interesting, right? Interesting that there was this... Also, I don't know when this happened, but I'll mention it now because I teased it earlier. The medics who did the autopsy on the boss man's body.
Okay.
What had happened was the battalion were there, shots were fired, Big Boss Man got shot 3 times from one direction.
Okay.
And one time, the fatal shot from a different direction, which was the direction that the battalion weren't.
Okay.
So someone within Longhaven
saw an opportunity maybe when he was down
and
to finish the job.
No, to take the shot at that moment.
Right.
At the fatal shot though, that actually killed them.
Interesting.
So people don't know who the fuck killed him. There ain't no justice up in this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? There's no one.
Yeah.
No one knows who did it. It could be anyone. Who was standing there? There's no Praro that understood the full layout of the room and who was where and all this stuff, which would have been actually really good fun to
That'd
actually
be
repeat.
cool.
Now I've just said it. I'm like, that would have been awesome.
If you'd done like everybody get into the positions they remember being in.
Exactly.
That would be cool.
That would
Yeah.
be cool. Hard to do though because it's dark and let's face it, the assassin.
Getting everyone together, right?
The assassin probably wouldn't be very interested in taking part in something like that. And
Yeah.
It's tough, right? Yeah. Anyway, that's fun. The vote was for whether the welfare committee, who was basically offering, we'll give you free stuff, you trade with us, and
Okay.
we'll kind of like we'll have start this relationship. We're in no control over you. We're just gonna give you free stuff, you know.
Yeah.
And then a few people like spoke out about this other haven that they had introduced, like they'd murdered the whole place, whatever. And then
Okay.
someone presented a letter which one of the Ratniks had found in one of their satchels,
Okay.
which was a letter from what was the conductor or the whatever his name is, someone who was in charge, the leader of
a haven.
them,
Right.
well, no, of the welfare committee.
Okay, right.
Talking about re-education camps
Okay.
or something like that. I can't remember which one it was, but there was 2 bits of information, and both of them looked like that they would be bad, right? So the basically the people that were there were like, I didn't know shit all about this stuff, and I genuinely thought, like, me joking about socialism, yeah, a group of people that are out there to actually help people, like OC and IC, I was like, it's probably a good thing. But the stories I heard about them were like so bad, I was like, nah, fuck these guys.
Yeah.
And the woman, I didn't trust her at all.
Right.
She was a deeply untrustworthy. Every time she hit a hard question, she would laugh it off.
Right, okay.
So basically the vote came, and it ended with, we take their weapons off them and keep them captive.
Okay.
So someone had to go and watch them, and we took their weapons off them and then put them in the corner. And they kind of were laughing, and it was kind of like, oh, well, you know, like, it's just silly. We could walk away now. It's just kind of like, why do you have to be like this way?
Yeah.
In the end, they made a deal where they would bring medicine to the haven.
Okay.
But the medicine had already been stolen by someone the night before.
Okay. Right.
It sounds weird I'm talking like this now, but it was like, this is how it was. Paranoia filled.
Okay.
Like when you heard the lift come up, everyone reached for their
paid attention.
weapons.
Yeah.
Because you're like, well, especially us, that like, when we were at the hovel, was so close to the elevator, it was just like,
You immediately knew.
well, we could get murdered. You
Yeah.
don't know what comes up the elevator. Bad things like trapdoor. There's something
The
bad.
monster.
Yeah, exactly. Terrifying things. So yeah, we basically vote for them to bugger off and not be part of this, and they offered to go and get us medicine, which I think someone agreed to. I wasn't there for that, but they went off. Oh my god, this next bit.
Okay.
So we're all chilling in the hovel.
All right.
Like having a bit of a chat off, us as a group in IC.
Yeah.
And then we hear this huge commotion coming from the bar area. There's
Right.
shots being fired, there's people yelling, and we're like, what the fuck is that? Well, we better go, you know?
Yeah,
And we stood up and tooled up and headed off. And then all we can hear is the bunnies, right? And I think we shot one as we're coming through past the elevator.
Okay.
But then there's this commotion and there's yelling. And it's the bunnies, right? And they're going, we've got a hostage! If you come any closer, we'll kill her, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And they've got Sniff,
Yeah,
the bartender lady. Right. And they're going to kill her. So me and Callum, but bear in mind, like, we're coming round on the corridor, left from the elevator towards the bar.
Right.
We're coming behind where the rabbits are. So the rabbits are yelling and keeping the body in front of the people that are in the bar. And then there's little antechamber room that has like an entrance on either side. And we're coming up behind that. So we all turn our lights off and start creeping up there, right? Yeah. And then we get around the corner and it's just so tense. And it's not like you can turn to someone and we're whispering, like we're breathing to each other in communication, like, turn your light off. Do you know what I mean? Like, turn your light off and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Really quiet. And we come around the corner and like we both hit our lights on at the same time and it illuminates 3 rabbits all like their backs to us holding this hostage. And I just start fucking pumping rounds into these motherfuckers. Callum's only got he managed to trade out this tiny little handgun that he has to cock each time he fires it. And he's pumping rounds into these. Bam, 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 bam. And I'm just like, oh my God, you know what I mean? You don't have to think, what if I hit the hostage? You're completely committed at that stage.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Then there's shots from the other side. Anyway, the bartender lady goes down, all the rabbits go down. I'm like, oh, even though they move, I'm shooting them again. You know what I mean? That's they're falling. It's like, and I'm like, I think I stood on her hand a little bit, and I was like, I'm really OC. I was like, oh, I'm sorry, I stood on your hand there. And then she was like, don't worry, better to be alive type thing. She was like,
role playing it out.
Fuck me, intense. Amazing experience, right?
And she survived, right?
Oh, she survived in
Incredible.
all that. And all the bam, 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 she made it out alive, intact, not a scratch on her.
That was brilliant.
Yeah. So we help her up, and she's shaky, and we help her into the bar, okay? So I'm walking through the door into the bar, and she's coming back into the bar, and I feel a shot. Bam! And it hits me right in my left butt cheek.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm like, oh, I'm in it! And I go down, okay? And the ratniks come in.
What?
The ratniks... And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, right? To the ratniks who shot me.
Right.
Right? I'm going, you didn't say the safe. He goes, you didn't say safe word. And I'm like, fuck you. Do you know what I mean? I'm just start yelling at them. I get one guy had interrupted their chess game on Friday night, and one of them had tried to cut his arm off.
Right, okay.
Okay, so my interaction with him, I don't think they were used to people not being completely submissive.
Right, okay.
So I yelled at him, being like, you fucking rah, 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 for fucking shooting me. And then he starts yelling back at me. So I'm like, bam, right back up there. And it gets to the point where he is this far away from my face.
Right.
Screaming into my face. And I am giving it straight back at him. We're like, rah, 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 at each other. I'm like, I'm like, it's not about you, all about you. It's about the safety of the haven and blah, blah, blah. Okay, and I've got my hand I'm lying on the ground.
Right.
This is getting a theme of me going LARPing, being yelled at while I'm on the ground. But I've got the handgun in my hand and I'm bringing it up. And then he starts motioning towards my chest. And he whispers to me, I'm stabbing you.
Right.
Okay. So I look down and I go not through that plate, you're not. He looks up at me and I'm like, boom, and I push the gun into his ribs.
Okay.
And I'm like, if you keep going, I'm gonna shoot you.
Yeah.
And there's the real tense moment. He just gets up and I'm like, and then he walks away.
So good.
And then I think that's interesting. I hope he was aiming for the plate, because if it was if it's just player on player, because we had harsh words about him shooting me in the butt, and then he actually murders my character. But it's all RP. It was good fun. It was nice, right? It was a really great experience. And from the sounds of things, like Callum was saying, from everyone was just oh my God, standing around that. You imagine just
super tense.
Yeah, really tense.
It could all kick off.
And that's when
what was the vibe on where the ratniks and you and everything stood?
Okay,
as a result of
ratniks
that?
by the end of the weekend were a grey.
Right.
Okay, they were connected to the town council.
Yeah.
But they weren't good.
Right.
they were forced themselves. Like, a lot of people got friendly fired by them.
Right.
Like, I talked to a bunch of people who had been friendly fired by the Ratniks.
Okay.
So it was like...
So they're kind of like an independent force within...
Yeah, but let me put it this way. I wouldn't stay in Longbridge if the Ratniks were there.
Right, okay.
As I see,
right.
it's just not worth it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's too dangerous.
Yeah.
They'll fucking kill you. There's enough stuff out there without...
Yeah.
Guys in your own... Like, getting shot in the bar, having rescued a hostage that shoot you in the butt. Oh, you going back to Longbridge? Nah, man, I ain't going back there. I'm not getting shot in the arse again. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Man.
I want nothing to do with that.
Yeah. That sounds like a really cool, tense moment.
It was amazing. Right? So we all that happens. And then Monty's like, I need to go down there and... because he's set up the power cell that we found in some way. He's going to overpower it and get power for the bar so it'll actually work better.
Okay.
But we need to go down there and do something with it. I can't remember what we're doing.
Classic go to
he
the
was
generator
always
scene.
just hustling all the time with this stuff. And the way that worked, by the way, was he basically went up to the referees and went, I want to do this, and this is how I want to do it. And they go, that's...
That's fine. Yeah.
If it works within the character and it works within your RP, like Tom did a really good job RPing and jumped off loads of stuff. In fact, it's funny now talking about it how much came off him.
Yeah,
like, really well done.
So was it kind of like that scene from Jurassic Park where Samuel L. Jackson goes off to restart the generators?
Yeah, but he died.
I know, but Monty doesn't.
Monty fucking wouldn't.
Yeah,
Monty would accidentally have the Velociraptor would slip on a bucket of suds and fall out of the way, and Monty would escape miraculously.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, so he says that there's something to do with the power cells. So we're going down there to search for this stuff.
Right.
We're walking around, searching around, and then we find a bomb.
A bomb.
A bomb, Ian.
Right.
A genuine explosive device.
Okay.
Okay. It's got wires on it, timer, Russian hand grenade attached to it.
Okay.
And we're looking around and I'm going, Monty, there's a bomb here. And he's like, well,
what's the timer reading?
Well, it's not active.
Right.
And he's like, oh, it's not a power cell. I'm like, no, but I feel like this is
important information.
This is important that people know about this. And we talked about whether we should just move it or what we should do with it. And I think there's the other guy that we just went, I'm going to go and talk to the Ratniks and see what they think about it. And we're like, okay, cool. So off he trots to go and find out what's going on. But we just found a bomb by accident. That is really nuts that we were just wandering around and there's a bomb.
That's super cool though.
Yeah, so we were hanging around. Then the Russians came down and they spread out and formed a perimeter. And one of them was working on it.
Right.
And that's when I didn't have any bullets or my gun wasn't working. So I only had melee and a shield.
Okay.
So I was like, I've only got a shield or whatever. And then we started getting attacked.
Okay.
And he's like, shield me, blah, 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 shield me. And I'm like, so I got my shield, but he has his big shield. I'm like, give me your big shield or whatever. Because he's actually got a full-on riot shield.
Yeah.
So I set that up. I'm trying to set up either side of me to protect the guy working on the bomb.
Right. So you've got two shields then?
Yeah, but there's so many avenues of attack that it looks like I'm covering, but I don't have a firearm. I've got an axe and two shields. I'm not combat effective. I can block, but that's it.
Yeah.
There's loads of bullets, and then people start there's loads of people start yelling I'm out of bullets or whatever. You know what I mean? And we're like, this is bad. You know what I mean? And then
who are you getting attacked by? Or don't you know?
It's dark. There's gunshots coming in. I have no fucking clue who was attacking us. None whatsoever.
Wow.
None. I have no idea. People with firearms. That's all I know about it. So eventually the Russian finishes the bomb and picks it up. And then it's like, we've got to get out of here. We've got to get out of here. And then we're trying to funnel out of there. And the Russian won't give up the bomb because I'm trying to nick it. Because I'm Panda talked about bombs a few times and how he wanted a bomb.
Right.
So I was going to try and steal him the bomb to give it to him. You know what I mean? And Callum was there at the time, actually, Panda. And we were both trying to get our hands on the bomb, but they wouldn't have it. So, because there was only one guy with a gun that had bullets. and that was the Russian.
Okay.
But he was also carrying the bomb. It's like, dude, give me the bomb so you can shoot your gun. You know what I mean? Give me the gun or give me the bomb. So eventually we bring it back and they work on it. And then we go to the Church of Saint Debbie, which is the death cult with the guns.
Okay.
And we try and get them to get the bomb back for us or make us a bomb.
Yeah.
And we've done them a favour in the past, so they're going to make us ammunition for the next day, which is quite good. Okay. Yeah. Then there was the church service, the blessing of Saint Debbie. That was like they went through all the saints of the church and read them out by name, fired in the air, and then we all had little shotgun cartridges with stuff in it. Mine didn't because I was late in the line, but basically they whispered like, it's got sherbet in it.
Okay.
You know,
nice.
and then we have the service, but they were all holding their weapons in front of us.
Okay.
And bear in mind, it's a fucking death cult.
Right.
They're really into people dying.
Yeah.
And they're holding a Kalashnikov, like kind of, and we're all being part of a ceremony.
Okay.
So I didn't stick around for the end of the ceremony. I was like going to Panda, like, he was like, what are you doing? I'm like, can't hurt, can it? Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, it's having the blessing done. And then I started getting all the guns ready. I was just like, you know what? I think I'll be somewhere else. And then I walked away a bit, and then there was a couple of big explosions. I think they were the priestesses or whatever had let off some explosives or whatever in honor of the thing. Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. And then so we're getting on to later on Saturday. This is after weapons safe.
Okay.
I feel. And then there's rumours about something. Oh, we've lost Monty again or something. Panda went down and found some drug dealers in the floors below.
Okay.
So I go down there. I'm definitely drunk at this stage.
Okay.
Right? Like I've had.
So it's
not
maybe only
drunk,
at this
but
point.
I've had a drink. Right? Like I go down there and it's like there's cells everywhere, and one of them is a cell door that's been closed off.
Oh, like prison cells.
Yeah,
right,
but one of them's been closed off and it's full of guys making drugs.
Okay.
And they tested the drugs on the people in the cells.
Okay.
And now they've gone mental and escaped.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're down there like level 2 or whatever, and there's like we're RPing with these guys who are selling the drugs.
Yeah.
And then we go upstairs again and come back down again, and then there's a whole bunch of us, and it's just really sketchy, and people are like running out and going woo. And
okay.
Like,
Right. Okay.
Crazy,
right.
and then some people seem sane, and they start talking about bananas, then run off. It's like, absolutely batshit.
Okay.
Really good time. The bar that evening was really good fun. Same again, really nice and relaxed. Like it's nice to unwind after like such a heavy day.
Yeah, sounds like it's a pretty tense day, right? And you've got a lot on all the time. Right?
Having a drink, staying in character, but having like a bit of a laugh and a joke was nice, just to ease off from all of that. Anyway, so late that night,
okay,
all the lights turn on.
Right. Like actual main lights.
Main lights.
Okay.
And then someone comes by and says, there's been a medical emergency. Stay where you are in this area.
Okay. Like OC call or...
OC.
Right.
Okay. This is how pro these guys were. There was a medical problem. They dealt with it so well.
Right.
Right? Lights came up. There was no panic. There was no silliness. There was just, this is the plan. This is, we're keeping the corridor safe for the ambulance to get up. Ambulance guys come up, take the person away. Sure. Everything's fine. The person was completely fine, by the way. Just as you're listening, I don't want to go into what happened to them, but totally fine after the event.
Yeah.
But hats off to the organisers.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
right?
running something like that and doing it so smooth.
Just made me feel like way safer. Not that I felt unsafe, but like, just to see them just totally all over it,
Yeah.
Really impressive.
That's nice. It's
Mm-hmm.
really good. So then they time you back in, or do they just, when the lights go
It
off, you're back in?
was already time off anyway. Everyone was going to bed.
Okay,
And it was
cool.
really
Right.
late.
Yeah.
It was like 2-3 in the morning.
Okay.
Okay. Sunday morning, Sunday morning, everyone was very fatigued.
Right.
I remember feeling like just a general feeling in the air was people were pretty tired.
Yeah. It's difficult, right, with energy levels like that, in the dark and the
ammo,
cold all the time.
Ammo was virtually done. I think me and Panda had no ammo left.
Right.
They'd given away the ammo to somebody else or something. I can't remember exactly
Okay.
what happened, but we didn't have any ammo. And then we were going back down again into the other levels to clear something out.
Okay.
This kind of like just kind of sputtered out. You know what I mean? Like one of the priests got shot and died. Got shot a couple of times, I think,
Right.
and then eventually died. And that was like, oh no! But then again, you're in a death cult, so
Yeah, you don't care
good
as
for
much,
you.
right? Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, congratulations. Yeah, the event didn't end in a climax or a storyline moment. It kind of ended.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, but
I guess it's difficult if that's to sort of orchestrate a climax.
yeah,
And do it
and
naturally.
that isn't like a criticism at all. That's more like an observation more than anything else. It's like like some of the people that we met there. There was a guy called Magpie,
right?
And he was like believed in the like Biggie and Tupac were the great like leaders or generals of America, and they had the great battle to end all battles.
Okay.
And that was like, you know, but he had this really flamboyant like fur outfit with lights attached to it, you know what I mean, and other stuff. But he was like
That's cool.
salesman. But this guy sold us stuff that was like icy. That was, he just said, no, all the sales are final afterwards. Like we're buying shit off him for batteries. They mean nothing, but he's like helping us out with stuff and like lending us weapons. It's generally like a really good guy to RP with, like really like funny but like good, you know. Yeah, so that was kind of like the end of the weekend.
Sure.
Weirdly, I had slept funny in the night, and my left butt cheek was completely sore.
Just where you got shot.
So I was limping around the next day, which made it a pain in the ass trying to pack up and get out of there. Yeah, it was like so leaving the event, I was like kind of like I was tired of the event until it was time to go home.
Yeah.
And then I was like
oh man, you want to have some
I
more?
could do 24 hours more of that.
Yeah.
You know, just
you gotta hit your second
just
one
the
kind of
second
thing.
of taking away and being in the daylight and being back to reality makes you realise like how good aspects of what you just went through were, you know, like the good and the bad, like the intensity.
The movie editing in the mind already starts happening as well, right? And because as soon as you leave, you need to contextualise it in some way, and I think your mind turns it into the personal movie.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, it's.
You get like the in-house edit of your brain.
Let me put it this way: it's been fun talking to you about it now and going through those moments again and kind of seeing. How
I've just been so excited to hear about it, right?
Yeah.
Like it's because, especially with you going and me not being there,
there was everyone brought their all.
Yeah.
Right? From the crew who I had a few chats to throughout the weekend, like they had scare actors in. Scare actors are a thing, right? They're the people that are really good at scaring the shit out of people.
Yeah.
So the monster that I saw was a tiny, cute little Welsh girl.
Right.
Who was dressed in a little outfit. But honestly, in the game, I wouldn't have been able to...
Yeah.
Like, really, but talking to her...
I love the fact as well, in a way, that it was smaller, right? Because you expect some big, massive thing. But the fact that it's smaller kind of makes it more creepy. Because it's bulletproof and smaller.
Fast, and it was just great, right? And then, like, the different crew that were there and how much everyone gave and all the players. Like, I thought it was like and for it not to be a, like, inverted commas professional event, right? It still was professional, but like an absolute triumph. Yeah. Like really, really good. There were rough edges to it. There was stuff I was still learning about being new to RP about it. Really
it sounds like it was much more kind of, I guess because of the player base and the size of it, it sounds like it was much more intense RP wise, and that you had to engage in it a lot more. Because when we're at Empire, I think the scope of it gives you the ability to retreat a bit more. Is that a fair statement to make? Or?
Yeah, definitely. I should mention one thing. I had a conversation with one of the organisers after the event who wasn't happy with some of our RP to do with things like, you know, joking about Danny Dyer and things like that, right?
Right.
I'm not gonna like go into too much of that, and like because they're not here to talk about it.
Sure.
But it did feel a bit like the words that we were being too comedic.
Right.
So, like, what's the first rule of RP, right? Don't be a dick.
Yeah.
Right? Now, I don't necessarily feel like we did cross that line. I feel like other people enjoyed that RP.
Sure, I mean, when you've got some of a Church of Biggie and Tupac and stuff, I mean, like, there is a certain amount of leeway.
Yeah, but I think it from their point of view,
Yeah.
I think it was like they wanted to have more control over the game necessarily.
Yeah,
One of the things they said to me was they don't want to avoid me and my army type RP.
Right, yeah.
Now, I don't really know what that really means or how we did that necessarily.
Yeah.
But one of the things they said was that we potentially were breaking other people's immersion.
Right, okay.
Okay, and that is like me as someone that's new to LARP and wants to like get on well with it.
Yeah.
It's the last thing I want to fucking do is break other people's immersion.
Yeah.
At the same time as that, I don't necessarily got the feeling that's what actually
happened, right?
Happened,
Yeah.
right? Like I feel the feeling that the people that
you
we
were trying, right?
We
you
were
trying the best
the people
spirit,
we were talking to were really enjoying RPing with us. In fact, that was all we got back, right? I did offer during the conversation with the organizer to basically be like, let's ask people if people felt like it wasn't good, then fuck that, we'll just shit can it. Do you know what I mean? Like it doesn't matter if someone's having a bad time because something that we're doing, it's done, right? Yeah. But I'd like to see what the player base would say about that. You know, like it's interesting.
I think it's difficult to gauge, right? And it's the problem is with LARP in general. I guess you can sometimes, especially when you're new, you kind of worry about sometimes coming across the kind of not in my LARP attitude. Well, and it's kind of it's tricky.
It's tough, man, because you don't want to be, because my experience levels is really low, which is why I was saying like take anything I say with a pinch of salt, right? Like it's purely my experience. That kind of attitude towards like being criticized about RP, it hasn't made me want to rush back to Blind Dogs,
right?
You know what I mean? Like in all, I would say it's a wonderful, brilliant experience and a huge like what an achievement for the people.
It sounds amazing, dude. Like all of the effort everybody went to sounds like, incredible.
As a weekend, I learned a huge amount from it. I definitely got more out of it than I put into it, despite all the hours and effort I put into making the kit. I really hope they run a second event. I'll see. Like, I'm not sure I'll go.
I mean, give it time and see. And it's finances and organisation as well, right?
Yeah, I think that's the thing, though. It's like, you don't want to put that much time and effort and money into something and then feel...
Yeah.
Like, for me anyway, I don't necessarily feel like there are too many boundaries involved. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, but that's my personal thing. You know what I mean? Like...
I think with a lot of this, it's like, you have to have charity in a sense towards the fact that people try. Just like you have charity with people's ability to costume, you know, not everybody can be the best looking kit all the time. I think you also need a certain degree of charity with people's RP, because not everyone is necessarily coming from the same level of experience.
Absolutely.
Or necessarily has the same vision.
Absolutely.
And sometimes I think, you know, you have to be accommodating to the fact that you are dealing with a degree of, you know, a different experience to yours is entering the fray, right? Yeah. And that is...
One thing I found funny was that one person's funny or comedic can be someone else's, like, immersion-breaking thing, right? Like, and I think you kind of have to, like, just listen to other people. It's not my show. It's not my thing. I wasn't the one that spent, like, however many hundreds of hours.
Dude, it sounds like a lot of effort, right?
A lot of effort. You know what I mean? And as a new team, like it was great. You know what I mean? Like it was really great, and I'm really excited to see what they come up with in the future. Just talking to you about it over the last like couple of hours. It was an amazing journey. I'm really glad I did it.
Dude, I think it's something that was good for us to do, like to look at a different LARP, completely different setting. As I say, I was jealous I couldn't go, but by the end I was like, man, this sounds so good.
Do you know what? I don't think it would be for you or Bung, but Good Dave would love it. Would love it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think it's not like necessarily a more hardcore view of it, but I think maybe... It's not for everyone, but for people that it's for, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Oh, dude. Well,
Next time we're going to come back and oh no, we've got something else in the midst, don't we?
You do.
A little secret. So
I'm not the only one who's Trixie Dave. There's secrets of you.
Yeah, there are all sorts of secrets going on right now, which I'm really excited about, which will happen soon. So
it's great to be recording this again. To be honest, it's like the podcast's great, and having people respond to it and it be something that we can do together. It's like a real pleasure for us. I think
it's been a long wait, but Empire is not that far away.
Oh, it's knocking on the door.
Oh man, we've got big plans for the new year. So thank you for listening, everyone, and have a good one.
Yeah, bye.
Clear!
Right. Sounds like they're all done. Let's go look for that piece of the key. Ah, here it is. This is potentially more valuable than all the true Liao in all the Empire.
Hey, excuse me. Hiya! See you later, suckers.
She's done us on all fronts. You could have told me that she was coming. I have a feeling this won't be the last time our paths cross. Right, here we go again!